30-point games this season. They had lost 4 of them in the previous 20 years.
That's what it was. I remember saying council size. Yeah, he's 55.
On the council, it is.
That's all okay.
Question microphones, anybody? Question microphones? Question microphones?
We're joined by Creighton head coach Greg McDermott. Coach, if you want to start with the statement.
We fought. We didn't quit. Georgetown obviously got on quite a run to start the second half, which ended up being the difference in the game. And some miscues on our part that certainly led to that. But they were the better team the second half.
Question.
Right, in the second half, their rebounding and offensive rebounding in particular seemed to be a big difference maker too. What did you make of how that had switched since you guys had played better in the post in the first?
Yeah, I told them at halftime they had 9 offensive rebounds, but no second chance points. So I said that's fool's gold. And while we only lost the second chance battle 7-11, the 16 turnovers for us is just so out of character for us. A lot of them were just foolish turnovers. I had a great opportunity there with 7 or 8 minutes left. Blake Harper had it in the middle. We're going to get a dunk by Hudson Greer, and he lost the ball. And instead of cutting it to 8 with 8 or 9 minutes left, they go up 12. Those kind of momentum swings, it makes it difficult on the road.
Coach, in the first half, you had a great job of always having bodies around Vince, and he shot 1 for 8, even though he was within 3 feet. Second half, it seemed like he had a little bit more room. Did they just get out of running that middle ball screen? How did they get
they adjusted a little bit, and they got it out of the ball screen quicker. And I thought we met Vince with some good verticality at the rim the first half. The second half, we weren't quite as good. Obviously, he's as I told Coach Cooley, you look at how Georgetown played before Vince went out and how they played since he's been back. It's a totally different team, and he impacts the game so much on both ends of the floor.
First half, a little bit of a struggle from the three-point line. Were you just getting the looks that you wanted and missing?
Yeah, I thought we had some good looks. We've had some guys out sick that haven't practiced for a couple days, and obviously their legs weren't certainly there. But I felt good with where we were at halftime, given that we couldn't make a shot.
Coach, talk about hunting switches with Vince. You guys were clearly trying to get him on small and attacking him in that manner. How did he hold up to that?
Yeah, I mean, he's good. It's hard to get by him, and he's got obviously great length, and he really moves his feet. But it's their defense is very sound.
Speaking of length, life without Kalkbrenner is different. You don't have that gravity. I mean, how long will this process be to where you're making this adjustment?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we've had some injuries that have impacted that, but we're playing small. Jason Green started at the small forward last year, and he's starting at the center this year. It's kind of the hand we've been dealt right now, and he's fighting and trying to do his best, and but we're asking him to do a lot.
Thank you,
Coach. You guys have shot much better from 3 at home than on the road. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Obviously we've got a lot of new guys, but as long as you like your looks, and especially the first half when we were 1 of 11 or whatever we were, I thought we had some good looks.
Anything else?
I was curious, John Tytel from Hoops HD. As a coach of an NBA player, what's it like for you during the week of the NBA trade deadline? I'm curious.
Yeah, well, Doug's been moved a couple times at the deadline, so he's in his 12th year and nearing probably the end of his career. So it's not as nerve-wracking as it's been a few years.
Harper's been up and down for you. Talk about his development in your program.
Yeah, Blake's getting better. He's growing. He's learning. Tonight certainly wasn't his best. He got that early foul trouble, and I think that hurt his aggressiveness a little bit. But he's been an important piece of the puzzle for us, and certainly will be moving forward. Thank you.
When Creighton's been hunting them damn switches for number 3, Joe. They were hunting them switches, weren't they? You good, man. Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, he was with him before.
Where was he gonna go? Retire? Oh, did she anything? His son.
Oh, so that's why the guy left out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea, bro.
He left last year, and he's the coach of the What he said?
Huh? There you go.
Nah, that's.
There you go, man. Out the blue, too.
You
All
have
out
any
the blue.
idea how long I had that one queued up?
He was great.
I've been waiting since freaking media day to unload that on
He
you.
was ready to get me with that one, bro.
Yeah, he did this year. You can when the landscape starts changing, these guys.
Thank you.
But
Oh, no, they got money. They keep me 32, 4.
but how much? What?
He getting like $2 million.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's getting
$2
$2
million.
million and
So
getting about
he was
$9
preseason biggest.
Oh my God.
But he, I asked him, that's what the fuck is wrong with him? He got the yips.
Oh, he
can't
gets
fuck
out
it.
here and do
Yeah, he get
Damn.
He get $2 million.
I think Blake made
6.
is it about that low? I thought they said it's I was trying to say he was gonna give a meal, but it was heavily incentive laden, including wings, and then they wanted to take an insurance policy out in case he just made all that. Because they were like betting against him and stuff.
Hedging. Hedging.
You know who his agent was? You know his agent?
Who?
Boy,
Who?
Josh Harrison.
Really? That's my man. I didn't know he was an agent now.
With Clutch.
I knew he was a handler. I didn't know he was an
He
agent.
was an agent. Because he was the one that signed. He was with Mike Miller.
Smart dude, man.
Paulo Banchero was when he got with that. Paulo was his first one.
His first client, or was he the runner for?
Nah,
He was the agent. Good, Josh.
And
Good.
then Clutch hired him.
Good mother and father. Oh, they good
Great-
people, man.
great-
Great people, man.
That was police, like the sheriff, but no, police state troop.
No,
No, they
nice
were
dude.
good.
Yeah, mama too. Yeah, good people, man.
I remember when he was,
Wow.
I remember he was ready to commit to Ohio State. His
Yeah.
sophomore year,
What happened? It's almost it.
they told him that. His family, I remember they called me. He was Jared Sullivan, when we were that group. And he chose to go.
I think he went going to Duke was good for him because he could kind You know what I'm saying? Ohio State might have been a little bit too much exposure. Individual exposure.
Cause he could just be a rogue guy.
Exactly. That's my dude, though.
Nah,
And what's the name? His boy Tyler, the coach.
that's the.
Yeah, that they like the boys.
No, that was the connection. So, that's all, they was trying to get him back.
Wow.
So, they kind of like just sabotaged, those schools really recruit.
Wow. Damn. I had no idea. I had no idea.
How you doing, right?
Yes, sir.
Alright. We've got head coach Ed Cooley, joined by Malik Mack and KJ Lewis. We'll let Coach Cooley open with a statement, and then we'll start with questions for the players first.
Before we talk about the game today, I just want to, thank and appreciate all the Washington Post writers, before me, during me. Was a rough day today. You got some news, and I just want to thank and appreciate all of them and some of the other writers amongst the organization with today's bad news. Diana shared it with me, so I just want to make sure I thank and appreciate all of the sports writers who were the gold standard for Georgetown throughout the years, and I hope that they go on to find another opportunity somewhere else. So just wanted to make sure I said that. As far as the game, sorry, my voice is a little sore. I thought over the last couple of weeks our preparation has been very good. I think obviously bringing Vince back into the mix really, really helps us. You're starting to see our identity that we had early in the season defensively. Even though we didn't make a lot of shots early in the game, I thought our defense really kept us in because we missed a lot of layups, a lot of open shots. But then again, in the second half, we were able to rally. So also want to make sure that I mention Dix and the situation he's going through with his with the loss that he went through. So had an opportunity to speak with Coach McDermott before the game, and when you have a loss like that, it's very tough. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that, and our prayers and our condolences go out to the Dix family. But I'm very proud of our men. I thought we landed the plane today in a really good way. Got a little sketchy late, but we made free throws, and really proud of the men. Looking forward to a very tough Villanova game on Saturday, as this is the second time we're playing them. And again, we're just trying to get better and better every game.
Start with Patrick Stevens.
Ed, just when you look at how well you guys were crashing the glass early and not getting as much result for it offensive rebound wise, how encouraging was it that you guys were able to convert a lot of that? Because it seemed like you basically dominated on that element and got Vince involved in a number of different ways in the second half.
Yeah, well, at halftime, and I appreciated what the men were saying in the locker room to each other before the coaches came in. They said, we keep our composure. Right, we didn't play well in the first half, but we're right where we want to be. We're only down 2. We didn't play our best basketball, and they really responded in a resounding way in the second half. Shared the ball, moved the ball. I can't see how many assists we had today, but we've really been trying to. We had 13, which is 3 or 4 below. But again, our defense and our focus has been great. Our focus has been great. We're a little banged up, so guys are playing a little bit longer and guys are playing out of position a little bit. But overall, I thought our attention to detail has been very, very good.
Malik, what do you think kind of pushed that surge at the start of the second half? Since it seemed like you guys had been kind of knocking on the door a little bit and hadn't entirely been rewarded for it in the first half.
Just knowing we was missing easy shots and just wanted to hone in and finish at the rim. I feel like we got a lot of good opportunities at the basket in the first half, and our focus was just a little off. So just locking in once we get to the basket, knowing that they're not a team that's known for fouling. They like to wall up. So instead of looking for the foul, we just got to make the layup.
Between the two players, this is 13 rebounds sitting up here from 2 guards.
Who had 13 rebounds?
7 here and 6 here. 13 combined sitting up from your guards tonight. With a team that's so perimeter centric, you do have longer rebounds. Just how important was it for you guys to stay focused on rebounding yourselves and helping out in that that category, either one?
You know, he's been getting on us guards to go down there and rebound and help the big fellas out. So we just got to do a better job and continue to be physical and go down there and, you know, muddy up the stuff and help Vince and, you know, Juice and forward them out.
Yeah, same thing. As KJ said, coach has been getting on us about rebounding from the guard position. So when the shot go up, I feel like today, us guards, we just was willing to get in there and help do the dirty work.
Even when things weren't going well down the stretch of games, you guys, after each game, kept reiterating, we know that we're right there and that this team can finish. Last 4 games you have finished. Have you feel like you've made that turn?
I think, you know, it's a day-by-day, you know, thing. Things we learn from. You know, we're not perfect, but we definitely learn from those, you know, few games that we lost before. But, you know, now we're starting to figure out, and, again, we're just taking it game-by-game, preparation by, you know, preparation.
Lewis, did you have a message during the halftime in terms of composure? Did you communicate to the team?
No, I think it was just everybody had a voice in the halftime. It was just, you know, like Coach said, you know, we're playing really good defense. We just got to take care of the ball and just, you know, go in there with a purpose to finish and not a purpose to look for a foul. And I think, you know, we just got to, you know, start off with that energy. I think, you know, we're going to continue to be really good on both ends.
Coach, talk about your obvious comfort level with Vince on switches. Even when they're hunting him, you're comfortable having him out there one-on-one with a guard.
Yeah, I mean, Vince has great length. He has good lateral movement, right? You know, we're getting better with our discipline, second to jumps versus, you know, jumping in the air on every ball fake. You know, you got to change your ball screen coverage with some of them. You know, the players iterated that at halftime, and, you know, we listened to it. We made a slight adjustment at halftime that created a little bit more chaos defensively, and I thought that gave us some runouts that caused some turnovers. You know, I thought KJ was unbelievable. I think he must have had 3 or 4 steals today. Just a menace around the ball, really good half court, a steal at half court by Malik, layup. Just those are energy points that you know the crowd will get into it, and our players feed off of our defensive energy.
Coach, I got a couple of questions.
Okay.
First, can you talk about the continued growth of Kayvon Mulready? He's really turned a corner since the Nova game. And then my second question is about Vince. A lot of fans would love to see him back next year, and I was wondering if you guys are going to get a waiver.
Well, if I was on the NCAA committee, I would say hell yeah, right? But, you know, I mean, that waiver will go through, and hopefully they do the right thing, given what his health status has been since he's been in college basketball. I think they will do the right thing, given where the landscape is. When you have, I'm going to see if I can call Allen Iverson and see if he wants to play another year, because he's only played 2 here. You know, we may bring back, Michael Graham as well. I think he got a couple of years of eligibility left. No, but I think when you talk about Kayvon, and I said this maybe a couple of games ago, the credit goes to Malik. Credit goes to the players, talking about how he's been performing in practice, that he's eager to get out there, give him some continued minutes, and really that's on the players. The players gave me the confidence, gave the staff the confidence to extend his role, because I think he has some of the best hands on the team. He gets his hands on a lot of passes. He's disruptive. He's physical, right? So, again, that's not coaching. That's the coaches believing in what the players are telling us. And hopefully, to your second question, again, the NCAA does the right thing when it comes to taking care of a student-athlete that has had health issues over the course of 4 years.
We go to Nate and then back to Patrick and back to
Coach, 26 points from the paint tonight. I mean, are you the kind of coach that comes in and says we want to score this many in the paint, this many from 3, or are you just going to take what the defense gives you?
No, we always have a point of emphasis. I think anytime you can touch the paint and you could play in front of the rim, you shoot free throws, the game slows down a little bit, where it's just not jump shot after jump shot after jump shot. It's definitely something we talk about as a staff and as a team, and the players really do that. I think either one of these guys can get into the lane at will, and then when we make the right play and play the right way, I think we become a really good basketball team.
And then, Malik, I guess last two games, Providence, Butler, both hostile but loud crowds. Did it affect you, or does it affect the team to be in a little bit of a quieter arena during a weeknight game?
We like going on the road and playing in front of those large crowds. I feel like it gives everybody a boost of energy, just seeing that crowd out there and wanting to make them not be as loud as they are. So we confident when we go on the road, and we like going on the road and seeing that the other team got a large crowd and they being rowdy because we want to put them to bed.
And I mean, like having that at home, what would that mean? I mean, going into a weekend Villanova game.
It would mean a lot to have an atmosphere at our home arena. You know, I feel like players feed off of energy, and when you got people backing you and supporting you, it just gives you more confidence going into the game, and it makes you want to play even harder.
And then, KJ, I know after you guys have been making threes, you have this celebration. Is there a story behind that?
We got to shout out Kayvon. He just came up with it on the fly one day in practice, and we've just been rolling with it since. And I think that's a good thing for our team. You know, we have fun. You know, we believe in each other, and we're very confident with one another.
All right, thanks.
And it's been 8 years since Georgetown won a game while shooting less than 35%. And I think about...
Is that right? We only shot 35% today?
The identity that you mentioned, is this as close in your 3 years as you've gotten to the identity being what you want it to be?
Absolutely. And again, I think, you know, it would not be fair to talk about Vince's absence for 10 games. We look totally different when he's on the floor, right? When you watched us play against Clemson and Maryland in our earlier games, then we had to take on a new identity without him, then bring him back in to form into another identity. It's not spilled milk, it's real. Like, you know, and our players, we held ground the best we can with our younger players. You know, you have a senior, you have a junior, and now you're bringing in freshmen, redshirt freshmen, another redshirt freshman. You know, it's something to be said. This is the identity that we want, right? Again, we won a game. I didn't realize we shot only 35%, but it's not so much the percentage as it is the grit and will of the men, and that's a tribute to to what they want to do.
Coach, 18% from two in the first half, 50% in the second half. What flipped that switch?
I just think concentration and, a lot of the times when, what you all don't see is the halftime conversation with the men. Everybody thinks you go crazy, you throw things around. No, it's a very calm, it's an open, honest conversation. You have to listen to your players and what they're saying. The coach is just the manager during that situation. The players are the coaches. The players play the game. You ask them what they see, what they feel, and you kind of feed off of their energy. We were getting great shots. We just were missing them. It's not like there was another 7-footer in front of the rim there that Coach McDermott normally has. This is the first time maybe since I've been in the Big East with Creighton that they have not had a rim protector. Kalkbrenner was there, Patterson was there, Grissel was there. I mean, they've had a lot of rim protection in the past, and that's something that they haven't had this year.
And then Kevin Willard makes his return to the DMV this weekend. Are you anticipating any additional crowd support from some Maryland fans who might come out?
I'll take support from anybody. I mean, I wasn't thinking about Kevin coming back to the DMV. That's going to, that's his issue. I mean, honestly, it really is. He's as good of a coach as there is in the Big East, if not America. He has a really, really good team. He's transitioning into another. I wasn't even thinking of that. I was just thinking about what we got to do to try to beat him. I would love for fans to come out to Capital One Arena and support Georgetown, but that's not even something I thought about.
Coaches, so many coaches are starting to use some sort of tablet, iPad, or whatever to show clips and film during halftime, during timeouts. Is that something that you plan on doing, something that you do? Do you think that's just overkill?
I wouldn't call it overkill because there are some times in a short period of time where a player, when he comes out the game, may need to see something that he didn't see, didn't feel like. Today, there was late in the game that we had what we call a player come from behind his blind side, and nobody called that out, right? He can't see that. You're going this way. Somebody should have called that out. So I'm pretty sure our coaches told one of our players, hey, in that situation there, you got to let your teammate know. I don't think it's overkill. I think it definitely could help. Definitely could help, but I definitely don't think it's overkill. It's part of the game now.
Coach, I believe this is the Hoyas' first 4-game Big East regular season winning streak since 2015 when John Thompson III was here. I was curious, are you already on to the next game, or does it something where, the air feels cleaner and the food tastes better when you're doing such a great job?
It's one game. After any win, food is good. You look better. Right? Things are just different. But, it is one game at a time. And it's not a matter of that. I'm proud with the fact that we've won 3 road games. We hadn't won 3 road games. I think we only won 2 road games last year, I believe. I think we're already at 3 with some more to go. We have to take care of home court. Last year we won, I believe, 6 home games, if I'm not mistaken. I think we won 6 home games last year. So, it doesn't matter when you win. When you win, everything's fine. Everything's fine. When you lose, everything's terrible. So today's fine, but it's only today. We have another game on Saturday. It's an early game. Would appreciate everybody come out, weather the storms, whatever's going on the ground. Come on out and support our men. We need you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.